So recently, Variety came out with a news article discussing the 2025 box office and how it fell short of expectations. So that's what this quick little video is about. Me just going over a couple of quick takeaways over the article, and as well as to chime in on my opinion as to why it may have fallen a bit short. So welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the now official first episode. My name is Jay the Projectionist, given from the title of my name. Yes, I used to work in the movie industry. I was an employee, followed by a supervisor. I became a projectionist for a while, and then ultimately I became a manager and then a general manager. So I'm very familiar with the ins and outs of how the movie industry works. I have a passion for movies, so let's dive right in. So again, Variety, they put this report out. The experts were projecting about $10 billion from the domestic box office, and right now it's looking like it's going to close out 2025 by around a little over $8.5 billion. So why is that? So first, we're going to go into a couple of key takeaways from the article. So first, breaking down what I pulled from Box Office Mojo. So when you look at Box Office Mojo, you can see overall big picture, the box office has the roller coaster effect. There's going to be some up years, there's going to be some down years. And the key reason behind that is the product, the movies themselves. Are the movies themselves enough to draw audiences to the theaters, or are the movies just not that good, not that appealing, and folks don't want to go see them? So it's going to come down to the product themselves as one of the contributing factors. So looking at Box Office Mojo, 2023, $8.9 billion, and the number one movie that year was Barbie. Barbie was the number one movie that year. It probably surprised a few people. Me personally, I thought Oppenheimer was going to be the number one movie that year, but it ended up being Barbie. 2024 saw the domestic box office bring in about $8.57 billion, and Inside Out 2 was the number one movie that year. And then obviously 2025, $8.5 billion, and the number one movie is a Minecraft movie. So I did some further digging, and a little bit of an interesting note: the last time the domestic box office revenue was under $10 billion before the COVID pandemic, that was all the way back in 2008. That year, revenue was at $9.6 billion, and the number one movie was actually a little movie from Christopher Nolan called The Dark Knight. So we all know how that movie turned out. Let's see. So another key takeaway from the article, one of Netflix's co-CEOs chimed in a bit. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos, he had some interesting things to say, saying that the theatrical window is outdated, the brick and mortar concept doesn't work anymore, and that eventually they want to move to a more quote-unquote consumer-friendly model. This obviously coming at the heels of Netflix trying to get the approval to acquire Warner Brothers Studios. So obviously there's quite a few folks that disagree with Ted Sarandos' opinion on that, myself included, because with Netflix, they have a couple of avenues to generate revenue. The biggest one is subscriptions. How many folks, households can they get to subscribe to their product? Not only that, but keep the subscription going instead of canceling. So that's one of the big revenue generators for Netflix. The other one is obviously, of course, ad revenue. So how many deals with advertisers, allowing them to run commercials, so Netflix gets paid on that. So with movie studios, it's a bit different. Movie studios, movie theaters, they work hand in hand. The studios need the theaters need the studios. One side cannot survive without the other, because the movie theaters, they need content to play. They can't just rely solely on Fathom events or alternative content events as well. Whereas the movie studios, they're spending millions of dollars on getting these movies produced, and they need to generate that money back, because they need to pay the actors, the actresses, they need to pay the camera crew, they need to pay everyone else working behind the cameras. So best way to do it is through the movie theaters, and that's why when it comes to box office revenue, there is a box office ticket revenue split that's agreed upon between the studios and the movie theaters. So usually about the first week or two of a movie's release, studios usually take about 60-65% of the total box office revenue for that particular movie. It could be a little bit less than that, it could be a little bit more. It all depends on what was agreed upon. And the longer the movie plays in the theater, that revenue split begins to shift, where the studios start taking less and less of a percentage, and the movie theaters begin taking more and more of a percentage. So that's how the revenue split works. That's how the studios make their money off the ticket sales. That's how the movie theaters make their money off the ticket sales as well. So my personal opinion, why did the box office for 2025 fall short of expectations? As I mentioned earlier, product can be a contributing factor. I know a lot of people have been pointing fingers at one of the genres being the comic book genre. We know DC Studios has had some struggles, but so far, in my opinion, they're off to a good start with the release of Superman, and now we'll see what they do when Supergirl opens. I know Marvel Studios, they've had their struggles the last couple of years. It looks like they're in the process of reorganizing, doing some mop-up work and re-strategizing. So hopefully they right the ship. And then obviously right now we're counting down to the release of Avengers Doomsday. So very exciting. That's probably going to be one of the biggest cinematic events in recent memory. So that, with a very large cast and then Joe and Anthony Russo returning, hopefully that will, get a lot of folks back to the movie theaters. And hopefully 2026 will have a more successful year compared to 2025. So we'll have to wait and see. But yes, product is a contributing factor. And one of the other big contributing factors, in my opinion, are prices. Again, ticket prices, concession prices, they are higher than they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, so on and so forth. So we know how ticket sales work. The studios, the movie theaters, they split the revenue. Concession revenue, that's all 100% the movie theaters. Any money that's made at the concession stands, that all belongs to the studios. I'm sorry, not the studios, the movie theaters. That all belongs to the movie theaters. The studios don't get a penny of the concession revenue. So, what can be done to curb the issue when it comes to high pricing, like high ticket pricing, high concession pricing? A number of things can be probably done. Studios can reevaluate their budgets. Can they make strategic cuts where it won't impact the quality of the movie? That's something they'll have to think about as well. Another thing also is, I remember when digital cinema first got rolled out, and they were pushing 3D real hard, and not a lot of people wanted to see movies in 3D. So we've seen a scale back in the production of movies available in 3D. So I think that kind of helped reduce production costs as well. Another factor is the expenses that movie theaters carry. Let's look at Cinemark. Recently, Cinemark, a couple of months ago, they announced that all the debt that they accumulated during the COVID pandemic, it's all paid back. They paid off that debt. And Cinemark is the third largest movie theater chain in the country. Its competitors, AMC and Regal, they're number one, they're number two. They still have debt. AMC and Regal still carry a good amount of debt. And as I mentioned, AMC is the largest in the country, Regal is the second largest in the country. So, which leads me to a question. Does AMC and Regal have too many locations? My personal opinion, given the way things are right now economically, I would say yes, they do have too many locations. So I believe AMC and Regal, they probably need to reevaluate their portfolio, see which locations are underperforming. And the next part I hate saying because I love movies and enjoy the cinematic experience. Plus, you don't want to see people lose their jobs. But when it comes to the survival of these companies, they getting the debt repaid back, they'll have to see which locations are underperforming. Maybe there are 100 or 125 underperforming locations and consider closing them down. Either close them down or at least divesting them. Divesting them meaning putting them up for sale and seeing if another theater chain or an investor or a group of investors is willing to take a look at that location or groups of locations and buy it off of AMC or buy it off of Regal, wherever the case may be. Will that generate more competition? Yes, it will. But if it's done right, competition can be a good thing, So, all right. So that is my take on that report that came out from Variety and that article about the 2025 domestic box office. So, yeah, this is my first official video. My next video, which is scheduled to drop on Tuesday, I'm going to take a look at the 2026 movies that are scheduled to release. I'm going to take a look at a couple titles, see which ones I'm intrigued by, and ones we should definitely keep an eye on. And after that, I will predict the top 10 highest grossing movies for 2026. My top 3, I was shuffling around quite a bit to try and figure out which one I think would be number one. So I ultimately landed on the decision on which one I think will be number one, number two, and then number 3. So by the end of the calendar year 2026, it will be fun to take a look at it and see if I got everything correct or if I was way off. So we'll see. But thank you so much for joining me here, and I'm looking forward to sharing all kinds of good content with you, giving you like an insider's look into what it was like working at the movie theaters. So I have all kinds of fun videos and everything planned out. So please stay tuned. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate you so much. Thank you and take care.